It's Tuesday, April 2nd, 2013. I'm Alex Jones. Strap yourselves in for another original edition of teleprompter-free Infowars Nightly News.
Tonight on the Infowars Nightly News, veterans, beware of a wellness check. The VA is actually coming for your guns. Plus, the NYPD pepper sprays a 5-month-old and a 2-year-old. Protect and serve? Yeah, whatever. Then, North Korea reopens their mothballed nuclear reactors in a desperate show of force. All that and more on the Infowars Nightly News.
Last year, here on Infowars Nightly News, long before the tragic and very mysterious shootings in Colorado, and then, of course, in Sandy Hook, Connecticut, we were pointing out that you should look for a major anti-gun push domestically coming up after President Obama was reelected, or even if Mitt Romney was elected, because he actually supported restrictions on the Second Amendment as well as governor, because the establishment wants it, and because the United States, or globalist, the U.S. has been captured, bankers want the UN treaty put in place to disarm the populations and countries. There's only a few of them in Africa and the Middle East that haven't played ball and basically handed over their national resources to the banking cartel. And so it happened today. UN has approved the first global arms treaty, and it's written so that only the West can basically dictate who can have armored vehicles, tanks, helicopters, small arms, from an AK-47 down to a .22 rifle. This allows the UN to selectively, country by country, ban whatever it wants, and if your country has any gun ownership, they can put sanctions on you and even invade you. Of course, the UN is arming itself to the teeth right now, and the United States is buying billions of bullets, and Homeland Security is buying armored vehicles. It's a fifth branch of the military pointed directly at the American people. So they're arming, and the UN's arming, while trying to disarm every other country they don't control and disarming people within those nations. This is what it's all about. The United Nations has been engaged in human rights atrocities that are unrivaled in their scope. Since the late 1940s, they have run massacres and torture operations and giant white slavery sex rings and snuff film operations. I covered it on the radio today. If you don't know about the UN, they have this huge propaganda corps telling you that they're the best things since sliced bread and basically the second coming of Christ, loving the children. The truth is they go in and murder, slaughter, starve people, and then have Angelina Jolie fly in 6 months later with a starving kid that the UN's starving, and then she feeds them and says, give me some money, I'll feed the kids. And then they use the money to go in and enslave the kids. It is incredible. It is pure evil set up to establish world government to carry out eugenics. And we have the New York Times here with some of their disgusting propaganda saying, don't worry, it's no big deal. It's a great thing for America. It won't affect U.S. gun owners. And that actually comes in the article from Thomas M. Countryman, the Assistant Secretary of State who led the American delegation. And in here he says, don't worry, it affects tanks, armored combat vehicles, large caliber weapons, combat aircraft, attack helicopters, warships, missiles and launchers, small arms, that's handguns, rifles, and light weapons, period. Ammunition exports, you see how they're coming after our ammunition, are subject to the same thing. So it puts it under this treaty. But he goes on to say, don't worry, it doesn't affect U.S. citizens. When Forbes has done the analysis, and so have I, it's pointed right at U.S. citizens. It says the state, the government, can have guns, but you can't. He goes on to say, this treaty will bring much of the rest of the world, not up to the American standards, but much closer to the American standards, he said. In that sense, I believe it levels the playing field and gives American manufacturers a better competitive position in the world. And in a sick way, that's true. He says, don't worry, we're not coming after citizens' guns in the article, which is a total lie. You know, like Obama said when he was a senator, we need to ban all guns. He supported Feinstein, who said, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them in. They staged Fast and Furious to blame the Second Amendment. But now they're telling us, just don't worry about it. Everything's fine, and this is going to actually help American manufacturers. And it's true. The United States has more than 50% of some types of arms sales worldwide, like jets and tanks. It's over 30%, and that's in the article, when it comes to small arms. So they're saying American manufacturers will be able to sell guns to who they say can have guns, whether it's mercenaries or corrupt countries that are working with the West. But remember, it's the globalists that have captured the West who are pulling all the strings. They don't want countries out there that aren't playing ball to be able to protect themselves. So they're selling this like it's good for America, when what they really mean is it's good for globalist weapons manufacturers that are here in the United States. So they're trying to spin the whole thing like it's good for America and good for the world, when it's not. What it is the UN allied with the globalist based in the U.S., England, and Europe, trying to shut weapons off to people they want to be able to go and enslave and kill, with systems like Africon now invading all of Africa. Just simply amazing to see that unfolding. Now, remember, they say in the article, we're not coming after your guns, and don't worry, this treaty doesn't affect your guns, but here it is today, all over the United States, they are calling for mandatory federal and state insurance to buy bullets or own guns, and then once they make you buy it, they can just raise the price until it's cost prohibitive. And obviously, making you get insurance also registers your guns. And look out, we've confirmed all the big insurance companies are saying, hey, we're not going to cover your insurance unless you tell us what guns you have and give us the serial numbers, so that they can basically have a list of what needs to be confiscated. And they've done this in other countries. They follow an exact plan. First, they ban semi-autos and high-capacity mags, register all the others, make you register to get ammo, and then they start banning, well, down to even single shot now, they're trying to ban in Australia. And the same thing's been done in over 100 countries. So it's a shake and bake operation. The whole thing has been scripted before. Continuing here, San Bernardino and the Inland Empire. This very city is going bankrupt to the globalists by design, signed onto derivatives. All of California, much of Michigan, it's all going bankrupt by design. We're being conquered economically, but California lawmakers in Sacramento want to tax ammunition and, again, make you get liability insurance of $10,000 a year to be able to have ammo. And then all ammo not registered is a felony. So this is how this works. They're making gun owners criminals. And I've got this fella coming on the show tomorrow on the radio show. Veterans' guns confiscated after forced psychiatric evaluation. And this gentleman, and it's in the local news, had no criminal record, honorably discharged, had a concealed carry permit that in his state you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get. Navy veteran, 50 years old, and the police came, grabbed him, took him to the hospital, and they're now charging him for the 2-day stay. And they, the hospital, not a judge or a jury, is adjudicating him as dangerous and saying he can't own his guns. No judge, no jury. And this is the purge against the military. This is what they're going to do because they plan to replace everybody to begin with robots. So why should you be allowed? Oh, yeah, the planes, the submarines, the ships, the ground robots. Within 10 years, MIT, Pentagon, DARPA, none of you will be in combat anymore. None of us will be. Only the nanny state and their floating blimps with microwave guns and 30,000 drones they've already funded with $46 billion. I mean, this is a hellish nightmare future, taking our tax money, our energy, what the West has developed with our scientists, is all being put towards a technocratic, authoritarian nightmare. All of it is hammered down, being leveraged against us. The establishment has decided the future course of human development, and it looks like something that's a mix between Dr. Strangelove's, Kubrick vision of an apocalyptic world mixed with another film that Kubrick put out, A Clockwork Orange, mixed with equal parts 1984, THX 1138, A Brave New World, and Terminator. I mean, it is just not a future we want to be in. And by the way, it's not a future we are in. The religion of these people is not communism. It's not fascism. It is Luciferian, eugenics-based, I'm God. That's why we have a report up at Infowars.com right now of Kim Kardashian coming out and reports that she's going to basically name her baby Christ with a K, and her husband calling himself God. This is all part of just selling us this complete culture of death. Kim Kardashian naming her new baby after the Illuminati. And again, this is all part of the revelation of the method in our face. Continuing, Connecticut legislature moves to impose severe restrictions on Second Amendment, banning above 10-round mags, registering ammo. There's more than 10 things they're doing. Magazines would be registered to then be confiscated. Penalties for magazines outside the home. Create a dangerous weapons registry. Universal background checks that they already have. That means you can't give your guns to your son or daughter. It just goes on and on. While government masses weapons against us at the very, very same time.
I'm Darren McBreen, and these are some of the new items that are available now at InfoWarsShop.com.
Alert the public to Obama's blatant abuse of power with the new Obama t-shirt. Obama's Joker face on the front and come and take it on the back. It's time to publicly call him out for what he is, a tyrant. Defend the Second Amendment with our top seller Come and Take It t-shirts. And look at that, women's cut tank tops and t-shirts now available. Nice hat. Plus the Don't Tread on Me flag. And now you can become a micro distributor of the Infowars magazine. Plus get your own copy delivered right to your door each and every month. And if you're tired like I am of you and your family being exposed to polluted drinking water, get the Pro One high performance water filter. It gets rid of all pathogenic bacteria, cyst, fluoride, heavy metals, and numerous other contaminants.
So join the revolution at InfoWarsShop.com.